Push pins in Rhinoceros, the 3D modeler, and we're going to look at 3 different ways of getting this done. In doing so, we'll make a model that has double curvature, so curves on 2 different axes, a model that has single curvature, curves along one axis, and then finally a model that exhibits only facets and no curvature. So step 1 of the project will be just simply Googling the word push pin, and if I bring up the image search, I'll get a whole bunch of different versions here. Most of these will be unsuitable because they give us a sort of perspective view on a pushpin. So we're looking for something that makes up kind of a perfect profile, and this image right here is a pretty good example. Whenever you're searching on Google, at least in the last 6 months or so, you have to click through a couple of times so that you view the original image. So I'll make sure to pull that up, right-click it, and say Save Image As if I'm on the Macintosh side. Okay, so I'll head to my desktop, make a new folder. Let's call this the Pushpin Project. And while I'm at it, I might rename this image so it's a little simpler. Okay, now we'll head over to Rhino. And because I'm going to be outputting this to the actual printed environment, it does matter what scale I'm working in. Although not so much on the Rhino side, it will matter definitely on the Illustrator side. But just for good measure, I'll go to File, New Using Template, and then let's pick small objects and inches, unless of course you happen to prefer metric. But pick this if you want your screen to look exactly like my screen. Okay, once I have the environment open, I will click on the green button in the top viewport to expand it, and then I'll start typing in background bitmap. You can see it pops up right there. Bitmap spelled B-I-T-M-A-P. And then if I navigate over here to the desktop, I'll come across the Pushpin project folder, and I want to select this image to be my background bitmap. Okay, when executing this command, just like drawing a plane or a square, first I'll have to decide where the first corner of the square will go, so I can type 0 and hit enter. As for the second corner, and I'm zooming out with my mouse wheel while I do this, I can make this thing as big as I want, and the larger the image is relative to the grid, the easier it'll be in some ways, so you make this pretty sizable for yourself. So there I've left-clicked again, and then when I'm all done with the command, I hit enter. Okay, so to get this project done, we need to illustrate 1/2 of the profile of this object. You'll see that a lot of people will forget that they only need to do one side and will illustrate the entire perimeter, which is not only unnecessary, but can cause some problems later. So I'll be doing this using a combination of tools. The first one is the polyline tool, which gives me absolutely straight lines. I'm going to sort of guess where the tip of this needle is. Left click, turn to ortho off, give me some more flexibility, left click again, left click, and so forth. And then when I come to a line that is curved, I'm going to right click so that I cut off my line. So here I've illustrated the beginnings of the pin and this lower side, but the curve is going to take a different command, and that's going to be this one right here. If I hover, you can see it's called a control point curve. I'll click on the control point curve, and I need to do a little more setup here. So I'll open my OSnap window, make sure that end is selected, and that'll help me snap. You see the little notation comes up that tells me I'm over an end, so that helps me get exactly where I need to be. I click again over here off the surface because a control point curve works by sort of influencing the line in a kind of gravitational way. Left click over here, and then once I've placed all my points, I right click to finish that. Now it doesn't look perfect, but that's easy to fix. If I click on my control points here in the toolbar, I can get these little fellows back, and then I can move this around until I feel like the line is just right. And this isn't exactly hard science, so don't beat yourself up here. Escape to hide my control points, and then I'm ready to finish this off. Polyline tool, O-snaps are still turned on, so end. Let's just make this thing nice and easy. Click, click, left click every time, just to the halfway point, and then I'll right click to end the command. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I will hide my background bitmap by again typing in background bitmap and unchecking the word visible. Click on Done. And I can shift select all these guys and type join to join them into one line. Okay, I'll be right back for part 2.